I've really been itching to change out my seashell crochet strap into something that fits more of the vibe that we have going on in the air currently. So I crocheted this super easy beginner crochet strap, and I'm going to show you how to make it. Using a 3.75mm hook and a medium weight yarn, and we are going to chain 70. So now that we've chained 70, we are going to half double crochet into the whole of the chain, starting with this first stitch here. So now that we finished our first row, we're going to turn our work and we're going to half double crochet into this very first stitch and continue down the whole rest of the row. And when you're working into each of the stitches, make sure to go under both of the loops. Now that we finish our second row, we're going to start our third row and complete it in the exact same way as the second row. Now that we're done our third and final row, we're going to pull out the string a little bit so that we have enough to work with to sew these pieces together around the hook. You're going to pull the string through, and to secure this end, you can feed it through behind the loop and tie it off so that it's nice and snug. So we're going to slide our hook onto our crochet lanyard, pulling the strings through and then lining up the other end of our lanyard so that we can start weaving these ends through to secure the hook on the top. And this is why it's important when you're done making all of your rows to cut off a nice long end to be able to weave everything in. So lining up the ends of our lanyard, we're just going to cross over into each of these stitches and go back and forth across the top to secure it. Now that we have the top sewn, we can move the hook up to the top, and then we're going to sew under across the bottom of the hook. And I like to go through and then wrap around the outside to give it that security on the side of the lanyard. And then again, once we get to the last one, put it back through so that it's nice and secure on the edge. We'll take this end and we'll weave it down about like 4 or so stitches, and then I'm just going to pop it into the back and weave back up at least 3 stitches just to make sure that everything is secure, and then we can cut the rest of the end off. And then because we don't need this other end for security, we can just pop it into the back and then weave up and down again to make sure that this is woven in nicely so that we don't see it. And there you go. There's your easy lanyard strap.